This is obviously huge news. Andy Jassy is going to become Amazon's CEO, replacing Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos will be the executive chairman. Obviously, Bezos, the founder, longtime CEO. Stock is down 1.5% after hours. We're going to dig through the earnings as well. But that's a huge sort of news item, Mike. As far as CEO changes, hard to imagine a bigger deal than Amazon.
Wow, that actually sounded good. That felt good. You started dancing and everything.
That was loud. Scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, that was good, but it felt good. But before we get into how good it felt, who are you again?
The Bowl one, the Cold one, John. Colder Ice Lawson. Clap it up. Clap it up. Hey, hey. All right.
I'm Brent Leary. All right. It's been a minute since we did that, you know. Wow, what are you doing? You're out of focus.
I just went out of focus.
Yes.
I don't know.
You never look so good.
Yeah, it was looking good. Oh my God. That is so weird.
Alan is already commenting because somebody, my buddy Easy Ed Schlesinger, I don't even know if he goes by Easy Ed. Will you get back in focus, please? What did you do?
I can't even. You're gone. I'm gone.
Yeah, you are gone.
I got to come back in.
Yeah, come back in. Did Cold Rice just do the clapper commercial? Okay. Well, I don't know. See, we haven't done this in so long. He's forgot. Okay, let's see if there he is. You're back in focus.
Yeah.
Actually, could you go back out of focus? You look kind of better that way. I'm just kidding.
No way.
It's good to get you back, folks. It is watching Amazon. Wow.
2021.
2020. Anything going on with Amazon?
What for the new year?
Anything?
You know what? 2021 is like that Dallas episode where Bobby woke up and everything was a dream.
I remember that.
You remember that? You got to be really, really old to remember that.
Well, that's how I know how you remember it, by bringing it up.
I'm old. You know what? I just had a birthday. I've turned 56. I'm embracing my elderliness.
Well, I'm glad you should have been embracing it for the last decade or so, but that's okay. I'm glad that you're finally getting with it. Look who it is. It's Meredith. Meredith is back. She almost forgot about us. She almost abandoned us.
I know.
Or actually, she thinks that we abandoned her, but we would never do that.
No. We're just waiting for the new season.
And here it is. And what a way to start the new season with the end of an era. I mean, Bezos out. Did he do like the Mamba out, Bezos out, mic drop thing?
Not yet. I mean, it's not until the third quarter. Everybody's acting like it happened yesterday.
Well, it's because the news. Once the news is out, it's like that's 90% of the act.
That is 90% of it. They've made the announcement. He's retiring. Yes.
All right. So let's get into this. Why now? Why do you think now? I have some speculation, but why now?
I think it all has a lot to do with Blue Origin. Personally,
that's a good one. I think you're right. I think it's Blue Origin, and it's this dude wants to do other things.
And can you blame him?
Absolutely no. I mean, what is he, like 56? He's like your age, isn't he? Like around that?
Yeah, we're close in age. He might be, a year older, younger. And he's the richest man in the world.
Why has been doing the same thing? He's been doing the same thing since 1994.
I know. I mean,
and let's look at it like this. Is there a better way to hand over the reins than at this particular moment? If you're Jeff, the company is in the best shape it has ever been in. Yeah, and they did that, and you notice how they timed it with the earnings report, perfectly timed. It makes so much sense. We got some of the numbers. We'll go over it, but just think: could there ever be a better time for him to announce this?
Could there be a better time? I don't think so. I mean, it's good timing because it feels good. People aren't freaking out. The house is not burning down, So yeah, I mean, go out on top, bro. Go out on top.
All right, so let me thanks. Did you see what Meredith said? We're both looking good.
Thank you,
Color
Meredith.
swap. Colors. Wow, I didn't even notice the color swap thing because I'm wearing blue and my background is kind of standard. You got the standard shirt and the blue background.
Okay, for real, this shirt costs more than your damn microphone. Okay, let's just be clear.
Get out of town.
Just
get out of town with that. All right, so let's go over some of the numbers here of why this could not be any better time for him to announce this. This is the absolute perfect time. All right, so let's look at some of the numbers that came out of last.
Let's look at the numbers.
Look at that year over year. And
Awesome.
And these are just quarterly numbers. I mean, this last quarter was the first quarter that they went over 100 billion in revenue in a quarter, and they crushed it. They sailed right past 100. They went up to 125. That's just huge. And you know how when you typically look at these charts, and it's all for a retail company, the fourth quarters are always the biggest, and then like the first, second, and third go back down. But look, I think last quarter was actually better than the fourth quarter, and almost Q2 2020 was almost as good as Q4 2019. So this was not just of course the pandemic had everything to do with this.
A lot of it.
It probably had about 90% to do with it. But it's just amazing that level of jump, that heft. And that's just one of these. Let's see, net sales, trailing 12 months. Look at that. 38% year over year from quarter Q4 2019 to Q4 2020. 38%. Operating income, 77% year over year. I mean, so remember back in the day when they would say Amazon, when are you ever going to make money? I mean, it was always, well, they got a lot of revenue, but they never make any money. So they made almost $7 billion in revenue. I mean, in income in just one quarter. And I think 60% of the income comes from AWS. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, trailing 12 months. So they made 23 billion in profit over the last 12 months.
I mean, it's just, you can't even, like, what does that mean?
It means they're like the US Mint. They're printing money. No, they're printing profit. They're not just printing money. They're printing profitable money. That is just craziness. And of course, net income up year over year, 121%. I mean, these numbers just go on. All right, North America. This is a pretty set. We always think that it's pretty saturated for Amazon in North America. Apparently, it's not. 40% year over year in North America sales, 55% up in profit. Printing money. So once again, the theme, international. They're starting to make money internationally. Before, I guess they were trying to get on board internationally. Now they're actually getting on board and making profitable money internationally.
As of Q2.
Yeah, exactly. And this is still with some issues they have in India, all this kind of stuff. They're still in the midst of trying to get it all worked out. And they're still making money while they're doing that.
Exciting.
AWS. This is where all the profit is coming from.
This is where all the money is.
This is where all the profit is. Look at that. I mean, 28% year over year. That's okay. That's not, you notice how in previous years, AWS was leading in revenue and income. This year, the revenue comes from the traditional online sales. Not so much from AWS, but the profit is still coming from there.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's nothing to sneeze. I'm trying to find something that you could say, oh, well, that's not that great. It's kind of hard to do that.
Nah, it's really, dude, Whatever.
All right, let's see. Is there anything else? All right, so those were the numbers. That's why. Oh, and I got a couple other things. So we got those are the official numbers, and that's why I'm saying that's a mic drop. That's like Bezos out, Mamba out kind of stuff. When you put those, like Kobe got 60 in his last game, Mamba out. This is the equivalent of 60 in your last game. Bezos out. All right. So here's the other thing I wanted to point out. A couple of things here. All right. So I get that. Was it Marketscape? I can't remember the Market something or other. I don't know. They built this really good newsletter. I should have got their name because they deserve to be called out for this. This is some good stuff. So all those numbers add up to this. I love this. So last year, Amazon sold on its platform via Amazon only. It's Amazon selling $190 billion worth of stuff. All right. But look at how much third-party sellers sold on Amazon. 300 billion coming from the third-party channel.
Yeah, they realized that's, well, there's a lot of reasons for that too.
But and look at the growth of it. It was 160 just 2018. They almost doubled from 2018 to 2020.
Look, they ended up embracing their third-party system. After years of almost trying to compete with it, this year they were forced almost to embrace it in a whole new way. And I think that's part of why you're seeing that kind of growth.
And I think the other thing driving that is Amazon has their own, fleet now.
That's part of the embracing.
That has got to be part of the embracement because you can't. You cannot depend on third-party shippers to get your stuff there on time anymore. At least not right now.
Well, hey, slow your roll, brother. Because I just ordered a cable that took me an extra 3 days. And I think that's a big news flash too. It's that Amazon has embraced the fact that they might not get it there in 48 hours.
Okay, but on the flip side,
to grow, it's allowed them to grow their delivery under that shadow.
I think you're right about that, but I also think customers got used to the early days of the pandemic. There was nothing that anybody could do, so you kind of had to wait for certain things. Now you're getting to the point where you really don't. A matter of fact, I'm starting to see people, and sometimes it's me too. I want to make sure that Amazon is delivering it. And that's going into the equation of me buying stuff at this point.
What do you mean? You're able to tell?
If it looks like, well, you can see it seems to me, now I could be wrong, but when you go to buy something and they have all these options now for when they can get it to you.
The window.
I don't think they had that many options before they started delivering their own stuff. And it seems like now that they're getting more and more of their stuff delivered by their own shipping, they have a much better handle on what they can offer. And because of that, it makes me want to buy more stuff because I want to know when I'm getting my stuff. Okay. And that's becoming a bigger part of the equation. Now, the last thing I wanted to show about this, so I showed you this one. This is the exact same thing, but I wanted to highlight something. Nearly 200 million Prime members.
That's 2/3 of the country. That's insane.
I thought I saw or read somewhere where 4 out of every 5 households has Prime. Now,
insane.
Mic drop. Can you leave a company in any better a position? And oh, by the way, the guy that you are leaving it to, he's been there since 1997. It's just a perfect handle. Andy Jassy.
Jazzy, whatever. We're birthday brothers.
Really?
Yeah, January 13th. Yeah.
Did you just call him Jazzy Jassy? Is that what I just heard?
I didn't call him nothing.
Hey, John. Thanks for shouting out. Yeah, no, I look, there can be, this is the perfect mic drop time. If you're
No, here's a perfect mic drop.
What's that?
This is Jeff from the call. He said, Amazon is what it is because of innovation. We do crazy things together that make them normal. We pioneered customer reviews, one-click personalization, personalized recommendations, Prime's insanely fast shipping, just walk out shopping, the climate pledge, Kindle, Alexa, marketplace, infrastructure, cloud computing, career choice, and much, much more. That's just like, dude, I'm done. I'm done.
Well, you put that against the numbers we just talked about.
I know.
and I think how many employees are they up to now? Because last year alone, I think they hired like 200,000 or something, like just last year alone.
Yeah, insane.
So I see some people saying that there may be some hidden reasons for him leaving, and there may be, but the ones that are obvious are pretty too.
I'm sure there's personal reasons. I'm sure there's, when you put everything together, and he's just like, he came to the conclusion, today is the day, now is the time.
If there's anybody out there watching that has some additional theories as to why Bezos is leaving at this particular time, put them in there. Let them know. I'd love to.
So you're inviting the QAnon crowd. Great.
I don't think Marjorie was chilling listening to us.
Yeah.
Although she is in Rome, Georgia or something. I don't know. I never got up that way anyway.
Great. That's what I want. I want some more of that crap.
Just think about, I wonder if the former resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Oh, did we?
I didn't say any names. I just said former. I wonder what he must be thinking as he watches Bezos, who's now worth about $200 billion, and everybody knows it.
Could he have waited until?
Oh.
I think that might be. He might have thought about doing this, but years ago, and was not doing it because that would have just been a feather in the cap for the Jackets.
Saying that he drove him out, or
exactly. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is, and that's kind of another one of those you mentioned. Blue, what is it? Blue Orchid.
Blue. Yeah. Blue Origin.
Blue Origin. The other thing that they mentioned that he thought he might want to expand into is the media and Washington Post. Yeah, I don't know how that, because I think he's done a great job letting those folks really build the Post back up.
Yeah, me too. I think really, if you look at like what his focus seems to be in terms of passion, this is his passion project. Going into space is his passion project.
He's been talking about that since he was a kid. He has been talking. I remember seeing articles that where he was interviewed like 20-something years ago, and he's always been focused on that space stuff.
Right.
And I bet it kind of burns him a little bit that Elon Musk is so far ahead of him right now.
Oh, well, he could catch up. What if he caught? Dude, that's going to be a race. That's going to be a race we should watch at the same time.
Because they don't like each other, apparently.
Because here's the thing. We're watching Amazon, but when Jeff leaves, I need to be watching Jeff too.
Yeah, because he's not going away. I think Bill Gates set the standard for the very successful tech founder CEO pathway.
Yep.
Like you want to you've proven that you've created this behemoth of a company. Everybody is dependent on it. You have done about as much as you could do with it. And there are other things out there that you have to want to do. And I think this is his jump off point while the company's because when Bill left Microsoft, they were at pretty much they were up there. Now Apple was nipping at their heels. But at the time, I think Microsoft was still there. And he turned it over and he wanted to do bigger and better things. I mean, bigger things for sure and better things. And look what he did. And I think he has set the stage for guys like Bezos. I could see somebody like a Mark Benioff from Salesforce kind of on that same trajectory. Well, maybe not at that trajectory, but on that same kind of model.
Yet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you cannot knock what he's done, but I'm just saying Bezos is in Amazon is much more of a household name than Benioff and Salesforce because they play enterprise and Amazon is consumer and enterprise at this point.
Let's talk Jassy real quick because I'm really disappointed in us. Okay,
in us,
yes, because we've danced around that reInvent conference for like 3 years. Had we made one appearance, we would have probably been in with the new CEO because that was his puppy, you know. And I know we would have been able to get, you know, some access probably. And now here he's becoming the daggone CEO.
He's the man. He's
going to be the man.
All right. Yeah, we should have. You know, maybe there's still time. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, right? I mean, there's no more live events. I mean, come on.
Well, there'll be something.
There'll be
something. We'll know.
Yeah.
You know, here's one thing I did want to point out. I mean, I'm going to bring back up this slide again, if I can do it. All right. So this is the AWS segment results. Net sales, 12.7 for the quarter. 12.7 billion. So that's they're on a 50 billion a year run rate for just for AWS.
Just for AWS.
And that's the most profitable segment they have. So that's pretty cool. But and that's a big number, 12.7, almost 12.8 billion for a quarter. I was looking at Apple's results just for services. Because this is web services. Now, Apple does services, but it's services to service. I'm not doing, actual selling of devices, just the service. Can you guess how much Apple made just on services this past quarter?
No, give me the number. I could what?
$15.8 billion on services alone, not on any selling of devices, services.
Well, that must be the App Store.
That's part of it.
Okay,
but
that's
it's services.
Yeah. Okay, if you include the App Store, I can see that absolutely.
So they are, as much as we talk about AWS for what they're doing with their services.
Yes,
Apple is killing it on their services. Because their devices are, I mean, that M1 chip, and all of a sudden, did this just turn into watching Apple or something? But anyway, I was just fascinated to see because I wanted to look at the earnings transcript just to see the services part because it's still that is just a small fraction of what Apple does, but it's still a $60 billion, potentially annual business just on services just for Apple. So when you look at these services for AWS and for Apple, they're blowing that out. Now, ask me how much did Facebook make off of?
How much did Facebook make?
And they ain't telling you because it ain't much. They made like 98%.
Hey, wait a minute. I remember when Amazon didn't tell you either.
Well, that's true. But the one thing that you can see is that, and my buddy Anand Thakur added it all up for me. I think the last quarter of 2020, Facebook's revenue breakdown was 98 point some fraction percent ads. I mean, they have a house of cards. If this privacy stuff ever kicks in, the way Apple is trying to force it down their throat, it's going to be interesting to see how that all turns out.
Yeah.
Because Apple is making money off of selling you stuff and selling you services. Facebook is still ads, and these privacy, and Apple is starting to turn the screws on that ad business.
Oh yeah, it's about to be ugly.
It's about to go down. We might have to do like watching Fang or something.
I'm just gonna tell everybody we're gonna be watching something different in 2020.
We need to come up with.
There's going to be a little slight change.
Yeah, I mean, we're expanding.
Is that it? We're expanding.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Sounds great. Because I just made that up. So if you just co-signed it, fantastic.
Well, if you recall, we were going to do an additional show. Maybe just make it this. We had thrown out some things like watching everything, and then some people said that sounded creepy, so we didn't go with that name. I guess we got to come up with a better name, though.
Yeah, we're definitely expanding a little bit because there's so much going on. I mean, to not even be able to talk about GameStop right now is driving me crazy, but that's okay.
Is there any way that we could tie GameStop into?
No, because you know what? He didn't dip his toe in the water where a lot of other, Mark, the Shark Tank guy's been in there, and they had
Cuban.
Yeah, Cuban has made his point, and Tesla guy made his point. I can't even think of my people's names right now, but that's okay because I'm embracing my old. So, but he came on, Clubhouse and did his first Clubhouse and brought on the CEO of Robinhood and kind of grilled him a little bit. So it was interesting.
Did it get ugly? I'm just curious. Did it get ugly? Or?
No, because it didn't get ugly because the CEO guy knew that just to be on with him was great for the company in general. And it got a lot of ears a buzzing because, literally they almost screwed up their entire company in a day. It was one of the most amazing things I ever saw. But
that was interesting. I just want to put this up again because Alan, we talked a little bit about like the Bill Gates model, but so how far do you see Bezos going into that philanthropic mode where it's not just about he wants to do the space thing, but the philanthropic thing? How could he make his mark similar to how Gates has made his mark?
Well, I mean, he gave $10 billion to the Earth. Right.
The Earth is really appreciative of that too.
And we all appreciate it. And he's definitely driving a lot of the low emissions thing on his plate of things to be important for Amazon to get to zero carbon emission. So I mean, I definitely, you can't be the richest man in the world and not have these kinds of things or people will piss on you.
Could you see him teaming up with Gates and Warren Buffett and because I mean individually Gates and his wife and his foundation, Buffett is signed up for that pledge. I think he's doing a lot with Gates. They could do great things individually. Can you see like these mega tech moguls teaming up, or are their personalities and their egos too big for them to work together? They each try to find their own lane to dominate.
Well, didn't they try to work together on healthcare? When that
was Microsoft? I mean, was Gates involved with that?
I thought it not Gates.
I know Warren Buffett was
Buffett it was Buffett and Amazon, right?
And I haven't heard. Well, although they did announce Amazon Pharmacy just recently,
they kind of sunset that project.
Well, that's different than the healthcare thing because remember it was Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan was involved in that, and Berkshire Hathaway and Amazon. And I haven't heard much that has happened.
I think I heard that they kind of sunset that program right now.
Because remember when we heard that those three entities were getting together, we were like, whoa.
Oh, it's going to change everything in healthcare, blah, 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 blah.
Man, I think it's hard for big egos to come together for an extended period of time to do stuff like that. I mean,
but Bill Gates, together. We come together.
Well, that's because one of us has a big ego, and then there's me. But I'm just saying, it like Bill Gates was able to do his wipe out malaria working with his wife and having their foundation. Can another ego that size, can they come together and stay together long enough to really do something huge or is it just too hard for two egos like that to coexist?
Yeah, it's probably too hard. I can't even think of a time where, because they're the biggest egos, or not even biggest egos. They're the biggest money in our time, but there's been big money in other times.
Well, of course, we go back to like the 1800s when you had J.P. Morgan working together with Edison, working together with Charles Carnegie, not Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie, excuse me.
Andrew, okay, for what?
Like in the early, well, J.P. Morgan worked with Edison on electricity. The current wars, remember that? They were going up against Tesla and Westinghouse. And
see, I can see that happening, yes. But I mean, those are financial wins.
Well, the J.P. Morgan also worked with Rockefeller
on
Standard Oil.
Okay, so you just
I mean, those are some huge egos.
Let me just wait. You said oil and electricity. I can see people partnering up for those kinds of things. I can see people partnering up for space. I don't think
that's what I was thinking. So it's happened in the past where these huge egos got together and figured out. But when's the last time you haven't seen that lately, have we?
Not yet, but I think you will. I think renewable energy is something everybody's going to get in on.
So can you see like Bezos working with, I can't see it. Well, of course, we know he's not going to be working with Elon Musk. That I can't fathom that one happening.
Why?
But I don't think they like each other. I think that's kind of the deal.
I need to do some research on that. That's interesting.
So Bezos needs to kill an elephant. All right, Alan.
Who killed an elephant?
I forget who it was, but somebody did like. What? Wait a minute! Wasn't that Trump's son that did that?
Oh yeah, I remember them.
He doesn't belong in this conversation.
Yeah, I remember those atrocious little pigs. But yes, I don't know.
All right, so let's throw some
God.
Potential negative.
He said Edison killed an elephant.
Oh, that was way back in the day.
Yeah, that's when we had elephants, Alan.
Yeah. It was just one. He needed it for the electricity. I don't know. He needed that tusk.
Oh my goodness.
What about, all right, so what are there some potential negative kind of reasons why Bezos is walking away? Maybe he doesn't want to deal with the fight with the unions that's coming, or the regulation and the antitrust stuff.
I mean, but Brent, seriously, how long ago did we talk about him having to deal with unions? At least 2-3 seasons.
Yeah,
we talked
hasn't
about
happened
it
yet.
And it's just he knows that's coming. They got to be, aware. I just don't see him running away from those business issues.
All right, I just got to take a point. I just got to answer Alan's question. Actually, Edison said that Tesla's alternating current was dangerous, and they did something by was it executing somebody? There was something that Edison did that showed how dangerous AC current was, and it was like executing something. Was it an elephant? I forget. It might have been an elephant, but that was one of the ways that Edison tried to make Tesla out to be some kind of a raving maniac.
Wow.
Yeah.
He electrocuted an elephant in a 1903 film.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you remember Edison was one of those first guys to get into the movies too. Right? So can you imagine going to the movies and seeing an elephant fried, basically?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
That's right. That he did that all to try to discredit Tesla because Edison was in to DC and Tesla was in the AC, and anyway, we have gone way too far.
Yeah, but then we need to talk about killing it.
Oh, look at this. Oh, Alan.
Ah!
I will love it when your Jets catch up to the Rams. I'll just leave it at that.
Ooh,
Ugh.
ooh. I'm not even getting in the conversation here.
No, you probably should stay out of
Look, leave me out of this.
that. No, I love talking about that historical stuff. Way to go, Alan, throwing that in there. So people are saying he may be running away from something. I just don't see it, but do you see?
I don't know. Maybe something will come up, but I mean, look, bro, he went through that divorce publicly. He went through the tapes that were released from National Enquirer. I mean, he's gone through the fight publicly with, Trump. I mean, there's just so much that I just don't see him being. I don't see that being a driving factor for him.
No, I really don't either. That dude came out and when he was being kind of blackmailed, he just put it all out there.
Yeah,
he put it all out there. I don't think there's anything in business that he's afraid of.
Nah, I don't see anything else unless something comes up. Let's put it like this: nothing that we see currently on the table would make me think that he would exit because of that. So something new has to come up.
Yeah, it has to be like a bombshell kind of thing. Like really, I can't even imagine it.
Yeah,
because this guy, he never even talks about competitors. Have you ever heard him talk about a competitor? He only talks about customers.
I've never heard him talk about
No, he is so focused on what they need to do and how they need to act. He doesn't even address the thought of competition, which is kind of interesting. I've never heard him talk about anybody else. I could be wrong, but I just haven't heard it.
Yeah, he's made a couple of little jabs at eBay back in the day, but nothing.
That must have been a long time ago. There's no reason to take jabs at them if you're Amazon. I mean,
I don't know. Actually, yeah. It was. That was 2019.
Really?
Yeah. He was talking about sellers doing better on Amazon than on eBay. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like over these 10-year periods that we've had third-party sellers versus their 10-year period, people do much better on Amazon.
Well, let's put it like this. Here's the proof. I mean, that speaks for itself right there.
Yeah, put that back up real quick. I just want to see one thing.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Wow.
Yeah, those numbers are, they're staggering. All right, so here's the big thing, the big question. How does Amazon change once he is officially not the CEO? Do you see any major changes? Do you see them being less competitive? Do you see somebody coming up from behind and catching them? What do you see with the future of Amazon without Bezos at there?
Amazon has, what is it, the S team? Something like that.
Let me just address this. This is interesting. Claire Juliet is from SAS. Yeah, I've never heard you guys talk about. Yeah, that's true too. Just thought I'd put that out there. All right, getting back to it. Sorry for disrupting you on that.
No, it's like he's got the S team is his senior advisor staff. They come together and make, these huge decisions. And this has been the way, like you said, the new CEO has been there since '97. And then you remember when they did the Amazon special last year?
Oh, yeah. Yes, right. Mm-hmm.
Right. You remember Jassy was the spokesperson for the whole thing. Jeff never came out and spoke on any interview.
Well, now, they also had a spokesperson. The guy that Josh Earnest used to be in the Obama administration. He spoke for them too, because I think he's their head
officially. But I'm saying the highest C-level person that they let speak.
Yeah, Jassy.
Was Jassy, right?
Yeah.
So I see he must have embodied a lot of the spirit and will, business-wise, And I think what he's done at AWS is very important. Yes, pardon the interruption. Is very important. And I think, Bezos trusts him. Of course, he has to. Now, will he be as intuitive as Jeff was? I don't know. Who knows?
Wait, that's not even I don't think that's fair to ask of anybody, because
maybe he'll be a Steve Ballmer.
Well, maybe he'll be a Tim Cook.
No, I'd rather do the Bomber thing. That was way more fun.
I'm going to just walk away from that comparison.
Oh my God.
That one I'm not getting into that. No, I just think that it's hard for any, like Steve Jobs. Some jobs you really don't want to be the next guy, because the comparisons
it's going to be. Can he handle it?
Yeah, and it's a fair question, because he's taking over. Did you say 1 million employee company?
Let's see. I'll tell you. How many employees does Amazon have?
It's got to be close.
575,000 as of 2018.
Oh, I mean, come on.
So it's probably up to close to 1 million.
Probably close. I'm surprised they don't even put that in here in their results.
Nope, I see it 2020, 10-19. They have more than 1 million workers now.
Can you imagine
400,000 jobs to handle the surge in shopping last year?
400,000.
400,000 jobs.
Oh my God, that's so. Can you imagine being the one person who handles 1 million employees?
Nope, and onboarding half of those last year, almost half.
That's just an astounding. That might be the most astounding stat of all that we talked about.
It might be
bringing in 400,000 new people within the span of 1 year, and getting them to be operational and effective.
And think about this too, Brett. You remember they ended a lot of contracts with third-party delivery systems to build their own in-house delivery. I mean, it's just doing all these things at the same time is just absolutely amazing.
And out of all the things that we just talked about when it comes to Amazon and the mic drop that Bezos just did, I think being able to have that shipping function integrated and working as smoothly as it is, that might be the best gift he gave Andy Jassy before he did the mic drop. Because that's the competitive edge right now. Nobody is going into a store and shop. Everybody is buying stuff to have it delivered at their home.
I guarantee you that was a 5-year plan.
Well,
and they did it in a year.
Remember when we talked about, I think it was like at least 3 or 4 years ago, that one quarter that Amazon said they were investing $800 million to go from, was it to get to 2-day or to go from 2-day to 1 day, whatever.
Yeah, they took the credit. Remember,
that was the start of all this.
Yes, and everybody was freaking out. It's like, oh, on this quarter they're taking this credit and it went down and blah, blah, blah. And all that money they're spending. And look where we are now. You're right. Heck yeah.
I remember people were like, that's a lot of money. And I was thinking to myself, if they get this right, this is the last mile here we're talking about. This is the most precious mile there is in online retail right now. They did it 3 or 4 years ago before anybody else was even thinking about it. And look at the payoff they're having right now.
Man,
that's the best mic drop fact, I think. He put this in place. And I think, go back to that PBS special where he didn't even show up. How do you think he already had, he had to have his exit plan already thought out?
I'm sure.
Even at that point, they knew this was coming.
Absolutely. That's why I'm saying I know he put it off until after we got a new president. He definitely did. I mean, he's made certain plays that's been like, sticking his tongue out. And now this is just brilliant. And you never know, too. It probably is going to release him a little bit because we don't know Jeff that well. And it might give us a little bit more insight into the person now that built this.
That'll be fascinating to see. I mean,
oh yeah.
You know, it would be kind of cool.
He doesn't seem like that big of a, personality in general.
No,
we'll see.
But you don't have to be. Remember, there was I think it was an Apple developer conference way back in the day where Steve Jobs was on. I think he was, on stage, and then he brought Bill Gates on.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I would love to have. Can you imagine like a sit down conversation with Bezos and Gates? Where they're just talking and somebody, whoever you want,
kicking it back and forth.
Yeah, because those are not the kind of folks who are into self-promotion. They're just going to talk. They're not going to be trying to position themselves to be this or that because they're already that or this. So it's just them talking. Wouldn't that be awesome just to hear that, just to be like a fly on the wall, just to, I don't even have to ask a question. I would just love to see them interact and talk about things.
Just things.
The
world in general. What is it like to be a billionaire?
Yeah.
I just want to know. I mean,
a billionaire. We're talking about a billionaire 200 times over.
Yeah, that was. Oh my God. Okay, I don't even want to go there. I don't even have time to go there on this one.
We don't because you got a hard stop, so we're not.
I do have a hard stop. I got to go, but I mean, man, to be able, I just want to take the opportunity and time to invite Jeff to our show to speak about his exit. Okay, he has an open invitation. Whenever you want, just give us a ring.
It's always here for you.
It's always here.
Always here.
We'll do it.
I have to say, I have missed watching Amazon. This was a lot of fun. It felt like we were just right back.
Everybody missed me. I'm back.
Oh God. Oh, sorry, folks. I thought I was going to end it on a positive, but we see what happens here. Anyway, yeah, we got to figure out what the scope of this show is going to be because we might have to go beyond just Amazon. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. We didn't even. Well, we talked a little bit about Apple versus Facebook, the privacy stuff. We got GameStop or whatever it is, Stop or whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's so much going on, and
yeah,
we might have to expand it a little bit.
I'm excited, and I missed our banter, so I'm so excited. Season 3, baby.
We're back, Alan. And believe me, there'll be more Jets jokes to come. In the meantime, I'm Brent Leary. He's the cold one, the bold one, John Cloderice Lawson. Man, I miss even saying that. Man, I felt pretty good. We are watching Amazon. We're going to try to be back next week. We still got to figure out what our full routine is going to be.
All right.
We'll let you know. See ya.
Peace.